Hi, this is Stella Hoh. I'm from Singapore. I'm just playing in the kitchen, sharing with you how I enjoy my Saturday cooking at home. So today I'm just going to cook very simple dishes for dinner, and I'm going to cook a Chinese cuisine. And this is a very simple cooking because I'm using actually ready packet stuff. So what am I using today? I'm actually going to cook this 水煮鱼. Yeah, you can see here 水煮鱼 is actually boiled fish. Actually, it's a Chinese dish. There's no clear name for it in English. It's called boiled fish. So what happened is in such a packet, it comes with the seasoning already. So there's nothing that you really have to create over here. So what I do is I will just transfer. I'm using fish slice tonight for this dish. So I will just transfer the fish slice over. And so this is all fish slice, and you can see here all the fish slice. Yeah. Of course, you can tell this is quite some fish here. So what do we do then? Over here, we will have to use some ginger that I've already prepared in advance. Some ginger and some spring onion in here for the seasoning. At the same time, I'm just going to add from the packet over here. There are 3 packets here. 1, this is for the fish. 2 is for the soup. And 3 is for the completion of the dish. So how do we do this then? So quite simple. We just make sure there is some wine that you want to put inside the fish, so that it will not be fishy. So you can put some wine in here. Yeah. So all I need to do is pour some Chinese wine and take this packet of marinade. So I saw this in the supermarket, so I decided to try this cooking. I love it to eat this in the Chinese restaurant, as in this is northern Chinese food. So I love to eat this. So I decided that I'm just going to give it a try. So you guys can see there's actually the first packet there, and I'm going to put in some ginger and some spring onion. This is more to marinate the fish, make sure that the fish doesn't, have the what do you call it, fishy smell. So just marinate. And I added some Chinese wine for here. So it's actually, the first packet is actually spices for the fish. And you need to be gentle because I think I am ruining the fish if I'm squeezing the fish too much. So that's all. And while we wait here for the rest, what we're going to do is we're going to fry the vegetables and then prepare the soup base. Put in some oil. You can prepare some garlic to fry the veggie. I didn't prepare garlic, so I'm just going to use ginger. I'm using, over here, I'm actually using the long cabbage here. Yeah, I bought a lot of long cabbage. That's quite typical, what the veggie that we have. Because it's easy for a steamboat during Chinese New Year, right? So all I need to do is just put in the ginger first. So you can actually use vegetables like celery, lettuce. I'm using cabbage, long cabbage, Chinese long cabbage, and celery. A little bit of celery. I have a little bit left only. I'm just going to put this away first, because the Put this on. Some gadgets I got for fun, so that I get even heating on the wok. So all I have to do is put in the balanced celery that I have from the fridge, the cabbage. In this case, I'm using white cabbage, long cabbage, white cabbage, long Chinese cabbage. You can also don't cook the veggie. You cook the soup first, and then just soak in the veggie and cook. However, you might overcook the fish. But because I'm using fish slice today, so I'm just going to just do this kind of cooking. It's better for overall the balance of the fish, not overcooked, and yet you have all the veggie all well cooked before you put into the soup base. Some vegetable granules here. So such cooking is actually very easy because it comes with all the seasoning. So you just have to follow the instruction. Later I'm cooking another dish which is called tomato eggs, also a Chinese dish. Just today I decided to go northern Chinese food. So it will take a little bit of time for the veggie. So because I'm using a plate at the bottom, so the wok will heat up over time. So we just have to wait a while. Then I will cook the tomato eggs. Just gonna test it because I've not cooked the Chinese style. So I'm just gonna try it and show it to you guys. I often eat all these in the the northern Chinese restaurant. So, and it's getting very common these days. These are the dishes that are pretty well liked. And for this dish, right, let me see. I think you can also replace, besides fish, right, you can replace with, over here they say braised chicken, braised pork rib with potato, or braised pigtail with water chestnut. So you can change from fish to other food, other protein. So I prefer the fish. And later we have to heat up some oil at the side. So while waiting for this, I'm just going to do some prep. There'll be a little bit more cooking later in the dish itself. You just want to make sure that this is more cooked. Of course, long cabbage, you can cook it a bit longer. It gives a sweet taste to the soup. So what I can do is actually, you can tell that the leaves are more soaked through already. It's more or less heated up. It's the stem that is not so cooked yet. However, because we have a soup base later, we can actually take it out first. So it is not the kind of chili spice. It's more like a, it's a, depends on what you put in, because I'm going to put peppercorn and a little bit of dried chili. So there'll be a fragrance. I'm adding that on top of what I have. And it's also, you can adjust the chili, the amount of chili you want to put in. So what I'm going to do now is to actually take this out first. So what do you do then? It's actually the next step, right? It's actually to cook the spice. So which is the spice I'm using? I'm actually using the second packet. which is for the soup. Let me just get this out. So make sure you prepare a bigger plate. Like me, too small. Not big enough. So the next one is quite straightforward. This is a chili pack. Okay, this is a chili pack. So turn on the fire. You can see the chili. I don't know how spicy is this particular packet because I've never bought it before. This is the first time. However, you can add more spices if you want more spicy. Typically, this is a northern Chinese food, so it's more spicy. So it depends on how much chili you can take. I love chili, so it's usually acceptable for me. So if you're not a chili person, you just adjust accordingly. I can smell this soybean paste inside. There's quite a lot of soybean paste in here, so not everything is spice. So just add water. About 700 gram or more. Here is I think a bit more. So because I need to heat it up first, so you adjust accordingly. So quite simple, right? It's like instant noodle, almost like instant noodle. Just follow instruction. So technically, it's almost ready because if this is boiling, I put in the fish just for a few minutes. And then I add in the cabbage, this much, and I will serve in the bowl and just boil the oil and pour the oil on top. So the other dish I'm going to cook tonight for dinner is actually tomato egg. The Chinese, the northern Chinese tomato eggs. I'm stirring because the seasoning is actually quite thick. So it's actually it is actually at the bottom. So just make sure that you have it evenly into the soup. I'd rather it be boiling before I put the fish in, because the fish is going to be quite fast. So we just wait for a short while. So we are just going to continue cooking. And I'm just going to put in the fish now. The fish has been marinated for a short while. So the fish is going in here. So the fish can come in now. And I will just put back the veggie now. Because, like I said, right, the fish just take a few minutes of the time. And we don't overcook it. But yet we want it to be, immersed in there, the veggie. This is going to be a culture shock to you, Chinese. So meanwhile, I'm going to heat up the oil so that I can complete the dish with peppercorn and chili. So just prepare a small little pot like that on the side. I'm just going to heat up. So we just need this to boil. And I will need a bigger serving bowl. So what happened is, what's the ending, right? I just prepare some spring onion, some coriander, and some dried chili. So it will go on top of the dish as we heat this up. So what else? This is the dried chili that comes with it. Okay. I'm just going to heat up the oil on the side. Oh, smelling good. Really smelling good. So on preparation is because they are fish slices, right? They cook quite fast. And because it's actually marinated, the marinated pack actually has flour. So it has a coating over the fish. So I just want this boiling hot. And also my oil is at the side boiling. Make sure the food is cooked for food safety. That's all. So if you have a steamboat, you can actually serve it on the steamboat and heat it up and eat with rice as you serve. So that's also a very nice way of eating this. So if that's the case, I will actually boil the whole veggie in the pot, and then I will just set aside the fish on the side and use it like a steamboat, and then put in the fish later on so that you have it steaming hot. Okay, so there is one last step before we serve. Let me show you guys. At the side, so perhaps most of the oil, the water gets in there as I scoop this out. So right now, the last step what we do, I show you guys nearer. Can you all see? The whole big pot. There's still some more over there. So over here, we have the spring onion, the chili, some coriander. Okay, depending on how much chili you can bear with it. And of course, the chili pack. There's a whole lot of chili. So you keep in consideration that some of them can't take very spicy. I'm just going to be just put lesser. Of course, this chili you should put above first, below first, before you put the rest of the garnishing. Okay, is it ready? The hot oil? Let me see. That's all for this dish. The end, complete. So this is the Chinese dish of the sui tui. And that's all for today. So bye for now. And I have the sui tui over here. So I'll share you guys on picture later. See you. Bye.